Detective Crystal, glad you can make it.
Officer Ramirez, always a pleasure.
I'm afraid not this time. The body was found at 7:45 this morning by the worship pastor. He called me, and I called you.
So that's the entire story?
That's about the size of it.
Murder on holy ground. This is gonna be messy. Who's this?
This is worship pastor Tim.
Hi, Pastor Tim. Thanks, officer, for coming so soon. I appreciate it.
Don't thank me, it's just my job.
Well, I found him right over there on the altar. I came in like usual to get ready and set up for worship and get all the guitars tuned and everything, and I just found him laying there. Well, you know, when I saw him, I just checked his pulse, and he was gone.
Other than checking his pulse, did you touch him in any other way?
Well, I did close his eyes because it was freaking me out a little bit.
It's okay, Pastor. This is going to be traumatic for anybody. You can go and get a drink of water or something. So what's the story with this young man?
Jacob Newton, according to his driver's license. 24. Too young to die.
So what do you think killed him?
Well, there's no blood or trauma of any kind that I can see, so it's not gunshot, stab, or any kind of blow to the head.
Could it have been natural? A heart attack, maybe?
At 24, I don't think so. Whatever caused this man's death was not natural. Do you see the blue discoloration of his lips?
Yeah, what about it?
Asphyxiation.
Asphyxia what now?
Suffocation. There's no bruising on his neck, though, so I can probably say that it wasn't strangulation.
Sorry I was late, guys. Traffic was murder.
Choice words, Officer Carter.
What is she doing here, Dave?
Relax, Vic. I called her.
We don't need another amateur here.
Amateur. Considering I have worked and solved more cases than either of you, that's an insult to yourself.
Look, Vic, why don't you go question the pastor and see if the name Jacob Newton rings a bell to him? I'm sorry about him.
That's okay. He's just a hot-blooded hothead. Aha. I believe we found our murder weapon.
So he choked to death?
Not quite. Notice the faint scent of lemon.
What about it?
That apple was dipped in a chemical. Most likely a lemon-scented cleaning agent.
So he choked to death on a poisoned apple.
That's about the size of it.
This guy's got bad luck.
What's the good word, Vic?
That's Officer Carter to you, miss.
Vic?
The pastor's never heard of him before. There's no Newtons in his congregation.
Is that so? Well, poor Mr. Jacob here may have been the unfaithful victim, but in this kind of situation, I don't believe he was the intended target.
How could you possibly know that?
Simple. For a man who has never been here before in his life, how could the assailant possibly have thought that he would come in to find the poisoned apple? Why place the weapon of choice in a spot where it would be was close to zero chance of the intended victim reaching it?
So then, who was the target?
Who found the body? And who comes in here almost every day to tune guitars? I'll leave that to you, gentlemen. But it was nice working with you. I have other business to deal with. Well, I knew from the beginning, this is gonna be messy.